General of Police Kayode Egbetokun visited Plateau State on Tuesday following the recent killings in the state. The police chief condemned the violence and assured residents that the perpetrators will be caught soon. Egbetokun also recognized the negative impact on local farming communities and urged the public to avoid profiling criminals by ethnicity, stressing the importance of unity in addressing crime.
These criminal elements will soon be surprised because I know that their days are numbered. And I want to appeal for calm. I want to appeal to our people that we should not profile criminals based on their ethnics. We must stop ethnic profiling of criminals. Criminals must be dealt with as criminals. Criminals don't have tribes. They are just criminals. Let us work together to ensure that the criminals in our midst are dealt with as criminals and not on the basis of where they come from.
All right, Kayode Egbetokun there. I actually wanted to amplify this soundbite because I liked what he said about being against ethnic profiling. We've talked about this issue at large. But, the conversation was widely circulated that he did not even visit the Bassa local government area of the state when he went there. And this is why I'm amplifying the story, because it is important. This issue is not about showing off and making speeches. It's about really identifying the problems. The Inspector General of Police went to Plateau State, and we had our reporter on ground saying that he did not visit the local government area, a worrying situation. In the same vein, Rufai, before I come to you, a Labour Party leader, Peter Obi, has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to suspend his retreat in France and address the escalating insecurity in Nigeria. Peter Obi made the appeal in a post on X, highlighting the surge in killings and abductions, particularly in Plateau and Benue states during Tinubu's absence. His tweet reads in part: "In the 2 weeks you have been away, over 150 Nigerians have lost their lives to insecurity across Nigeria, especially in Plateau and Zamfara states. The repeated pipeline explosions in the Niger Delta further reflect a nation in distress. In the northeast, Borno state leaders are bemoaning the return of insurgency, with troops and civilians being killed randomly. In the southeast, the story is the same: killings and abduction. Amid all these, the CEO of the troubling company called Nigeria is retreating far away land in France from company's headquarters. The primary duty of any government is securing the lives and property of its citizens, and one wonders the type of retreat going on in another country where peace has been secured by their leaders while blood continues to flow in our country. The fight for a better Nigeria is not about individuals. It's about ensuring that every citizen can see, feel, and benefit from the policies and decisions of those in power. I therefore like to urge Mr. President to quickly suspend whatever he is doing in France and rush home to take responsibility by addressing these disturbing issues. That is the new Nigeria that the nation seeks." I mean, that, again, is another strong opposition voice. I like to amplify these sort of conversations. I mean, what are your thoughts with the two stories? I would like for you to start with Peter Obi's call for President Tinubu to return home.
I have a question for President Tinubu this morning. What is the life of one Nigerian worth to you? And how many people more will be killed that'll make you feel, oh, I need to come back home, even if just for the optics? President Tinubu has been in France all this while for his working visit, retreat, whatever he calls it. And we've been hearing people die. And all he has done is the presidency issue condemnation. So I ask him, you asked for the mandate of the people. You were the one that said you wanted to lead the country. How much people will die before you can think of coming back to the country and at least show your presence? Maybe 150 is not enough. Maybe if more people die, because that number has even grown
Yes.
You know why? Today we're seeing in the papers, they were complaining of Benue, local government, 11 people died. So maybe if it gets to 200 or 500, that's why we say leadership is missing, and we expect better from President Tinubu. Just like we say leadership is missing. The police IG went to an area where something happened. Based on Ferdinand Duro, our journalist there, which we believe and his credibility, says that he didn't visit Bassa. He stayed in Jos and gave a speech.
Why?
So why would you do that? Why didn't you go and commiserate with people and even hear? And as a police chief, don't you know that when you get there, the people will be able to tell you one or two things and give you one or two intelligence that you can use in a ameliorating situation. We thought you going there would have been a proper reconnaissance. God, they will tell you some things, you will gather more intelligence.
Yeah.
But nothing has been done. Just like I also want to bring one case to the IG. The case of the man we took in Kwara State. Because of somebody owing money was kept in incarceration and he died in incarceration.
Yes.
We've talked about that case here. Since the day the IG visited and said something will be done, we've not heard anything. So you can see when we say government is faltering and is failing. My question to you, President Tinubu, is how many much more people will die? Maybe you can respond to us and tell us the number of people that will die for you to say, I will leave France and come back and cut short my visit. 500, 1,000. I know your presidential aide and spokesperson will respond to me today.
All right.
But I also hope they will give me a number of the number of people that will die before you can return to Nigeria.
Okay. Vimbai, so they said it was 2 weeks. Is now, how many days has he been away now? I believe
it's been about 1 week.
1 week,
yeah,
right. So I mean, I don't know if he should remain there for another week or just quickly come back home. But we have seen the statements that he's put out, some of it saying enough is enough. I mean, those statements, are they really enough?
Well, I'll give you an example, Oji, of what happened in 2023 during COP28. It was held in Dubai that year, when flash floods started in Tanzania and the flooding intensified and the death toll rose to about 60. The president of Tanzania, Suluhu Hassan, immediately ended her trip, the official visit at COP28, and went home to attend. 60 was the death toll by the time she got home, to attend to the flooding. So there's absolutely no justification as to why we're facing a crisis of this nature, and it's ongoing. It's not a single incident that happened and, you know, sanity and peace has been restored and we're healing. This is a continuing insurgency that is going on, which needs the attention of the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces. He needs to be on the ground, even if it's just as a show of force, a show of confidence, to lift the morale of those officers who are putting their lives on the line to try and secure these places. It is extremely important that he now comes and that we show that, okay, yes, there's been, you know, we were having that conversation about how much can the governor really do. It's now clear that this is not one state. This is several states that are calling out, sounding the alarm to say they are overwhelmed. This is a time, very apt time for him to, I know in the past, President Buhari used to give a lot of marching orders. There's always debate about how effective the marching orders were. But I think this would be a time for us to hear President Tinubu issue that sort of marching orders to his service chiefs to go and be on the ground at a time like this, so this can be restored.
To his service chiefs to go on the ground, really. Because we are hearing now that, you know, the governor is saying, or telling his, the governor of Plateau States, telling his citizens, his residents, to take up arms now to protect themselves. I believe, you know, like analysts have said, that is a recipe for disaster. I mean, this is the primary duty of the government. We have, you know, employed them to protect us and secure our livelihood, really.